The following program is brought to you by the Internet Broadcasting Organization. Welcome to the Unfinished Workweek, a show for those working 55, 60, or 65 hours a week. And now, here is your host, Andy Guterowitz.
I'll tell you, Chris really knows how to say my name by now. This is what, I think, week number 10, Chris?
Week 9.
Week 9?
Week 9.
I'm ahead of myself.
Yes.
I'm very sorry.
It's better that than being behind yourself.
Yeah, okay, I'll accept that. But anyhow, welcome so much to Talking Business with Andy G. When we talk business here, folks, we're going to really call this a business variety show. And in other words, we're going to talk about some things that are really serious, stress in the workplace, how to get rid of it, etc., neurolinguistics and stuff like that. But we're also going to be talking about some fun things about you and your business and your career. Things that you should be doing instead of working. So this is a work variety, a business variety show. Anything you want to talk about, please give us a phone call. You don't have to worry about what we're talking about on air. If you got a question about something, then call us. And our number is, Chris, is
813-639-8255.
There it is, and that's going to be scrolled along the bottom of our little film here, 813-639-8255. And please call in. We want your input. Otherwise, we don't know what to talk about for the next show. And if you think I have to be the creative one here, well, we're in trouble. If you are going to call down, please turn down the speakers on your computer. Otherwise, we get backlash. Okay? And that's the only other thing I'll ask you to do. Finally, I want to say hello to my good friend Trevor Lott. Trevor and I spoke the other day. He, of course, is from the UK. He speaks the Queen's English. I speak New England English. But he did tell me that one of his national managers is New Zealand, a New Zealander, and he said, and he speaks very funny English. So I can imagine what I must sound like to him. But anyhow, what Trevor does, he is an ace at this, and he has got a very unique program that can put you number one on a Google search on page 1. Page 1. Or he guarantees the money back to you. And so if you want to know more about that, contact me, Andy, at theunfinishedworkweek.com, and we can go on from there. Finally, getting some things done here, housekeeping work. Last week we had a guest on. Her name was Liz Yoakum. And we failed, and I failed. I can't say we because that would include Chris. So I'm going to say I failed to give you more information on how to reach her. And the way to reach her is this way. She is a realtor affiliated with RE/MAX of Hillsborough Shores in Florida. You can contact her at the office at 954-340-7292, or you can call her cell number 954-663-0934, or you can email her at Lizzie, JOCHIM at bellsouth.net. Now let's talk about some serious stuff about business before we talk about some lighter stuff later on. I had a guest on here, and I keep on saying this a couple of weeks ago. She was a hypnotherapist, and she was talking about low self-esteem, how a person gets low self-esteem. Now, there are two types of low self-esteem. First one is situational. It's created based on circumstances. And in other words, maybe you feel confident in social situations, yet have very low self-esteem at work. That's called situational. We want to pay attention to this is a big one, categorological low self-esteem, which is based on false beliefs and rational distortions. We do it to ourselves. A sense of not being good enough based on belief systems And that's what we do. You know, when people rate us, when you go for an interview or when you go for a job performance interview, you know, your boss, 9 times out of 10, will rate you easier than you rate yourself, because you demand that much more though about yourself. So what we want to do is to make sure you don't develop your low self-esteem. Now, you've got to be wary of certain things. You cannot keep on running your body. And this is a clue. You can't keep on running your body as a machine. It is a machine, but you can't keep on running it at full tilt. Because if you run any machine at full tilt, you know what's going to happen. So let's take a car, for instance. A car has a nice speedometer, and right next to that speedometer is a tach. And if you looked at the tach, it's got a red line. And everybody knows, never get that needle up to the red line, because you know what's going to happen to the engine. It either shuts down like a good car, like a Corvette, or it's going to blow. And that means a lot of repair to that body, to the engine. Now, in our cases over here, we can't keep on pushing our brain to keep on interpreting and processing a deluge of information at red line. You can't keep on operating that way. If you do, your engine is going to break down. Your seals are going to start to break. You're going to be tired. You're going to eat wrong. The weekends are spent sometimes working, other times, where can I go? I'm tired. I really want to take a nap. So, therefore, I'm expressing to you, be aware of your self-esteem. Don't overload your engine. Don't run your body at red line. Please don't do that. And you've got to learn how to do this. This is not something that is just, something that's going to happen to you overnight. This is commitment. This is commitment about being happy, about being with your families, your friends, and enjoying good times. But in order to do that, we have to recognize the things that we're doing incorrectly in the workplace. So please, I'm asking you once again, don't run your body machine at the red line of the body's tachometer. Okay? Because when this happens, your brain is so overloaded that you might not remember the key topic. And if you don't remember the key topic, you're blaming yourself. And you shouldn't blame yourself. Never put yourself down and diminish your self-esteem. Never do that. There's enough people out there that'll do it for you. Okay, let's get into a little bit of a lighter talk here. Our first guest tonight is, and probably will be, our future de-stressing activities correspondent, for lack of a better word right now. Her name is Victoria Hagendorf. She is the publisher of Lifestyles magazine. She can be reached at 954-771-4407, or you can call her cell phone, 754-246-7774. And you can also email her at vickih@bellsouth.net. Now, do me a favor, also go to her website. You got to go to her website to see what she looks like. All right? Lifestyle magazines. Go to Broward Lifestyle Magazine. Google that. You'll get to her website. And in the left-hand corner, you're going to see a very attractive lady with nice red hair. And that lady should be on the phone right now. Are you there, Victoria?
I am here.
Victoria, how are you?
I am fine. How you doing today, Andy?
Well, I'm doing like I do every day. I'm like that song. I'm happy. I should have been in that video with Pharrell Williams, because I'm always happy.
Well, that's great. I like happy people.
Well, yes, and you should be happy all the time too, young lady.
I try to be, that's for sure.
I know you do, and I know you've got a great publication there. I've spoken with some people up here, especially women. They know of Lifestyles. They've heard of it. They know about it. I mean, how long have you had this magazine?
I've had this magazine for about 20 years. And before that, I had Entertainment Guide, and that was for around 15.
So you had these two magazines at the same time?
No. The first one I started in 1979.
No. Don't tell us what time you. Don't tell us that. I was giving you a compliment there, Victoria.
Oh, well, it was. See, I was in kindergarten, and my older sister started this.
I like that much better. Anyhow,
I forgot to tell you that part.
but I also know by having your magazine, you get to talk to a lot of companies. You're in on events. What I want to talk about tonight is how some of the things you know can help people de-stress. You know, after they're working all these crazy hours, you can help them de-stress or even de-stress a little bit at work. Like I understand you know a company called MonsterWeb.net?
Yeah. Monster Web is, they design websites with marketing in mind and also a content management system that allows their clients to update pictures and text. And it's as easy as sending an email. You can contact them at monsterweb.com. .net, I'm sorry, monsterweb.net.
And how long have you known those folks, Vicki?
Well, my niece works for them, and she's worked there off and on for 7 or 8 years.
Very good.
Great company. She's very happy there.
Very good, and she's been there a long time, so that proves something, right? They care about their people.
Yeah, it's really a good company. It is.
And I have to ask you this, is she stressed out or does she enjoy life?
She has 4 children. The youngest is about 6 or 7, and the oldest is about maybe 25 or 26. And she's got a little granddaughter from one of her daughters. So she's a little stressed out because it's a lot to take care of, but she's always in a good mood, too. She's a very uptight person.
Good girl.
Just like me.
So I also, in my research, noticed that this Center for Occupational Health,
Center for Optimal Health.
Optimal Health. Now does that's got to help people de-stress from their job. What do they do there?
Well, they do massage, Reiki, many different kinds of massage. They have all the different types available for you to choose from. And one of the things that I like the best is they're now having a special on this biomat. And what you can do is you can go in and lay on the biomat for 15 minutes to a half an hour. See if you like it. It's free. And if you like it, you can purchase one. I have been using one for the last 4 years, and I could just swear by it. It's just helped me through many, many days because I have problems. So if anybody has aches and pains, this is wonderful. These amethyst crystals and the heat and everything is just a great little thing.
So fill us in, because you're talking to Andy and Chris here, and I know you're talking to a lot of people out there in the world through the internet. And what the heck is a body mat?
Is a what?
Well, the thing you just called this thing. What do you call it?
Oh, it's a biomat.
A biomat. Oh, I'm sorry.
It could be for a mattress, or it can be like for a seat. And I have the seat one, and I use it in my office chair. I use it to sleep with. I use it when I'm working in the living room.
Is it smooth?
It's just a nice little, it comes in different sizes, but it's just wonderful.
But what makes it wonderful?
Because it's warm, it's got a temperature gauge on it that you can control, and it has these amethyst crystals in it that are for healing.
Oh, okay, now we're getting somewhere. Now we're getting there. Because, stress in the workplace affects the body.
Oh, yeah, and all of us have stress. It's impossible.
Yeah, and so these people that are working these 65-hour weeks, they're sleeping on regular mattresses or those number mattresses, whatever may be the case. But now you're talking about something that actually can really help them relieve the stress, at least when they're sleeping.
It's definitely a great mat to lay on. It's just incredible. And the nice thing is you can go check it out at Center for Optimal Health, and they are located on their phone number is 954-491-6158.
Say that once again.
954-491-6158.
That's cool.
And they're on Florinata in Fort Lauderdale by the Macy's outlet off of Federal Highway.
Okay. All right. Now I also understand that, a lot of people out there today are taking supplements. They're taking supplements for their health. And I mean, that's a real growing industry, even though some of these supplements are not FDA approved. But I guess you've come across one that is kind of cool, huh?
It's amazing. I was on the LinkedIn, and I sent a email to this gal, and it's funny because her name sounded so familiar, and I used to go to her husband as my physician, and what they did is they developed a line of physician-grade supplements that just have amazing results. It's not available in like Walgreens or Costco's because these products are so superior. You can see and feel the results. I just started using them, and I seem to be feeling a lot better. You can go to 561-833-0564 or visit MyVite Amazing. That's MyVitaMazing.com.
Okay. Now, my last question for you, Miss Vicki. Mm-hmm. By the way, Miss Vicki married Tiny Tim, or whatever his name was there.
If they're still married, if they're still around, right? Now you're showing your age.
Well, they got married on Johnny Carson's show. But anyhow, once people get used to working, less hours, what can they do for fun and relaxation?
Well, I have a client, is Expedia. I'm sure everybody's heard of Expedia, but they have a great special going on right now, a great offer. You can win $2,500 in travel, and who wouldn't want to do that, right?
That's
Talk about
true.
a stress reliever. Ooh,
yeah. Going
away, nice cruise on the ocean, the water, oh my God, how could it get any better? Good food. If you are interested, you could call Kevin at 954-256-9061. Their website is www.joinece.com/ImperialPointFL.
Okay. All right. You got anything else for us, my dear? Because pretty soon we have to say goodbye to you.
Well, I have another cute little designer consignment shop that has opened recently, and it's really fantastic. It has got just about everything that you could imagine for any situation, and I love their shoes. They have so many shoes there. It's just so beautiful. And it's designer apparel at unbelievable prices. It's called Passion for Fashion. You can call 954-776-1626, and it's located just over the Intercoastal Bridge on Commercial in Fort Lauderdale. That's Passion for Fashion. And summing it all up, just to get back, my website for a complete listing of everything is www.browardlifestyles. Lifestyles has an S on it, .com. And you can also call me on 954-771-4407. My email is vickyh@bellsouth.net. And I certainly welcome anybody to call in or to email me. I look forward to talking to people.
Okay. Victoria, thank you so much. And we'll be in touch with you again.
Okay, great. I look forward to it, Andy. You have a
Okay.
wonderful night.
Oh, you too, sweetie.
Okay, honey. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. And now let's take a look at our weekly feature, our commercial to buy my book, The Unfinished Workweek. The beloved 55-hour work week. Who created it? Management or employees? Management claims their employees lack necessary collaborative communication and critical thinking skills, while employees feel management helped create the infamous 37% unproductive work week. Employers counter with the claim 20% of workers lack even the most rudimentary creative skills, while 71% of workers claim managers create ineffective and irrelevant meetings. Finally, executives want people who can make decisions, interact with their team in a manner that is easily understood. But if employees spend over 50% of the time managing their email, do they really have the time to learn new techniques? Well, so who is right? The answer is neither. First, both managers and employees are a management team, so stop pointing fingers at one another. And the management teams are complaining of the lack of effective communication. How many managers or employees understand the rules of memorable interaction? And certainly there are rules. Here are a few facts you should know before communicating. First, 90% of the day's events are forgotten. So how do you get into that 10% retention pool? Second, you only have the capacity to remember 8 new things in an hour. Just 8 new things. How much new information was included in your last meeting? And finally, we speak over 16,000 words a day, but it's like talking to ourselves because 86% of what we remember is seen and only 9% heard. So reduce the 55-hour work week while creating management teams that have effective, memorable interaction with coworkers, work well together, and take action on their own. Have the management team visit theunfinishedworkweek.com to learn all the rules to effective, memorable interaction. Or just call me, Andy Gutierrez, at 609-410-9291 for an appointment. Well, as you know, I will be speaking at the SHRM chapter in Jacksonville on May the 1st, and also holding a webinar for Columbia University on May the 21st. And of course, the subject is going to be the unfinished work week and how you should be communicating to the capacities of the brain. That's the first step. If we do that, we can remember more. You'll have higher self-esteem because you are remembering more. Your work will be more efficient, and it's something you have to do. Next week, I'll be talking to you about how we have a call coming in. We will be talking about some things about the Harvard Business Review, regarding the work hour, regarding stress, regarding what you have to do to take control of your life. Okay? So, right now, I've got to say hello to my people I see every week here, and you guys get used to seeing them, and that's my friend Valerie Bass, if she still is talking to me after our last discussion, and Dr. Howard Stoller.
Hello there. How's Andy? Your show's so fabulous. Thank you so much. You know, as you were talking about self-esteem, it brought me back to my old days of psychology. And, you know, I am really a Jungian, if you will. And
a munchkin?
From a point of view of analysis, Freud, Jung, Maslow, those types, okay?
Yes.
Now, I have a theory here. I've been thinking about it. And, you know, low self-esteem is what Jung spoke about as an archetypal situation. In other words, it goes back to childhood. You learn this during childhood. There's no question about that. My idea is that, yes, if in fact people with low self-esteem are archetypal, then they would be very easy to spot, okay? They would have certain characteristics which actually go back to a shame somehow in early days. Now, if in fact you could get a profile person in there that in fact does have low self-esteem, those kind of people are very easy to manipulate. Hence, it might be a kind of a selection process regarding just that. In that maybe big business looks for people with low self-esteem, they're easier to manipulate and get more out of. Just a food for thought there.
Okay.
And I wanted to thank you for doing a wonderful interview with Victoria. And also, I wanted to mention to our listeners that you know, we are going to, it's wonderful that you can get them on the first page of Google, which is a really good start. And I just wanted to mention that when people come on and do a broadcast with us or advertise with us, they're going to get such an unusual package that they're going to get exposure the way we do it. We first of all would give them an edited version of their segment to put on their YouTube channel, and if they don't have one, we would put one up for them. Also, they're reaching millions and millions of listeners through Spreaker, which is how we get information out there. People can look these things up and see what an advantage it is today to actually have internet, TV, radio. It's a leap forward. This is the new media. So we do want interesting subjects related to business, and especially on this particular issue of stress in the workplace. Naturally, it is epidemic. And I would actually welcome the listenership to send in comments to you, to me, and that so that you could read some of the situations in the marketplace to address, and do it that way and answer them, you know, personally and online. And we would certainly welcome that to send Andy at the unfinishedworkweek.com any kind of situations you may have that you'd like us to discuss and address. And I also have somebody else here that wants to speak.
Well, wait a minute, Val. Don't you dare run away from me.
Okay.
Don't you dare run away from me. Here you are talking about, you know, I was talking about Spreaker, who is also affiliated, I believe, with iHeart.
Yes.
Right? So we're on
channel,
Spreaker.
Yes, that one is iHeart. There are other, we will also have other means of, I will be iHeart, Clear Channel. You know, go ahead, Andy. I interrupted you.
That's
go ahead,
okay.
yes.
No, but I understand that Spreaker has something like 40 million registered listeners.
That's correct.
Okay, and we're also going into TuneIn, which has an additional 20 million.
Right.
And so, but here's a big thing. Here's a big thing, Val, that you mentioned about the Google thing for our guests that come on the show. And if they have a small business or a medium-sized business, they want to be number one on Google. Yes, we can do that
Yes.
through this unique software that was developed by my friend Trevor Lott.
At a modest price, I might add.
A very, 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 very almost unbelievable thing, and but here's another thing that I saw on the TV the other day. I saw this guy Gary Bussey, or you've seen him. He's a crazy kid.
He's a goofy-looking guy.
Yeah. He is a goofy-looking guy, and anyhow he. You know, he's been on you know, the Donald Trump show there and everything else, but he's goofy.
Yeah.
So anyhow, they're showing this commercial on TV, and he says, "I like to talk to things." And he looks down, he looks at his pants, he says, "How you doing, pants?" And then he says, "How you doing, arm?" And then he looks at his TV set, and right at the corner it says Roku, which of course is internet TV, and he says, "I want to see Gary Busey," and nothing happens. And then he says, "I want to see Gary Busey," and guess what happens? It comes on. And you know who it was?
Who?
Amazon TV.
Yeah, I know. We're in a whole new age here, and we're on the cutting edge here. Radio is going to be taking more and more of, I mean, God bless radio, and this is radio TV. Why wouldn't somebody want to see and hear as opposed to just hear?
Yeah, and this is where it's going. This
Where
is
it's going.
rapidly going that way. So, folks, if you want to get on this show, we don't care where you are, United States, Europe. I don't care where you are. I'll come to the studio early, and I'll get Chris up early, and you'll come down here too. But this is internet TV. Believe it or not, this really is. It might be a radio show, but you're seeing it as it's happening live. So, we can't do outtakes because it's live. So when we make mistakes, we make mistakes.
Oh my goodness, it's a learning. We're at our learning curve. We're getting there. And I wanted to actually say and wish everybody a happy Easter and happy Passover. This is Passover week, and Easter is coming up, and this is a time to be very perhaps thankful and very happy, because it is a time of spring and growth and renewal and thankfulness. So that's where I'm at, and that keeps me smiling. And I'm very excited about our program and the direction that it's taking, and we'll have a lot of interesting guests and diversity, and we're going to be giving away. I have some collected. No, I just wanted to let you know some free CDs that I have that I'm going to be giving away regarding stress management, because that was my field.
Cool.
Biofeedback and stress management, subliminal suggestions, light and sound machines. We're going to get people to take part, get gifts, and get them all what they need, and to get the word out to some of these managers. Give your people 20 minutes a day on a light and sound machine, and you'll get much more focused and happy attention.
Yeah.
So if that's what they want, that there is a way.
Okay.
And yeah.
You got to turn your volume down there.
Say again.
You got to turn your volume down. Mute.
Oh my gosh.
Oh your gosh.
Sorry. Listen, Dr. Howard is here. Let me try and get this done. Wait. Now let me ask you this.
Yes.
When you say mute, do you?
No, now I can't hear you.
Okay, do you mean like...
Now I lost you.
Uh-oh, I think we completely lost her.
Now we've lost her, folks. Don't worry about that, because we'll get her back here, because we want to talk to Dr. Stoller. We want to talk to him about neurosciences and linguistics and how you can prevent yourself from forming a low self-opinion of yourself, and a lot of that. Are they back?
Yes.
Where'd you go?
Well, you said mute, and I couldn't, this is
Oh,
all...
you just have to turn down the volume, dear.
Oh, too loud.
I'm sorry.
Not on Skype. Do it on your laptop.
On your laptop.
Oh, is that better?
Yes, much.
Oh, okay. When I turn it down, I can't hear you as well, but I don't want to be blasting people out with my mouth. Well, anyway, Dr. Howard is here, and he would very much like to speak with you.
Oh, I've got to thank him. I've got to thank Dr. Howard.
Okay, here he comes, and thank you, my dear. Have a wonderful evening.
You too. Where's my friend Dr. Howard? Where is he? Where's Dr. Howard?
Good evening, Andy. How are you?
I have to thank you, Doctor.
For what?
Oh, come on. That pizza you and I had Friday night, that was fantastic. That was the best pizza I've had. What was that?
Bring that guy on.
That's the best. That's the best pizza I had since I moved to Florida 9 years ago.
Well, I have to agree with you. And I'm from New York originally, so when it comes to pizza, I know what I'm talking about.
Oh, yeah. What was the name of that place
again? I'm talking about.
Oh, yeah. What was the name of that place?
It's Jack's.
Jack's.
And it's right here in beautiful Deerfield Beach, Florida.
Yeah. Yeah. When I come back down there again in a couple of weeks, I'm going back. We're going back there.
Absolutely.
All right? Because that was out of this world. I mean, that was super.
Maybe we can hit the early bird special if it doesn't...
Oh, come on, Doctor. We're not that old yet.
If it doesn't hurt your self-esteem too much.
No 15% discounts. No, that's not for me yet.
Well, listen, everybody. I want to take Valerie's lead and wish everyone a very happy, healthy Passover and Easter, whatever you celebrate. And some of you may celebrate both. I do. So everyone and your families, a healthy, happy holiday. And I see, Andy, that nothing has been hurting your self-esteem one little old bit, has it?
I won't let it. I won't let it, doctor.
That's great. That's great. And you know what? I kind of led you into that, didn't I? That's one of the most important things, is what you say to yourself and what you teach yourself. Because I love sayings, Andy, right? I got a bunch of them.
Yep.
One of my favorites is, remember, the most influential person who will speak to you all day is you. So you need to be extremely careful what you say to yourself, extremely selective. You need to edify yourself, say good things to yourself. And the more you do that, the more it's going to be a reality. Because remember, thoughts and words become things.
Now, let me ask you a question, doctor. There's a lot of people out there I've spoken to, and you've spoken to as well, and said the same things to them, but yet they don't seem to do it because they're in this paradigm where they're always thinking negative thoughts.
Okay.
How do we help them?
Part of that is, and I'm sure you've heard another saying, fake it till you make it. If you have low self-esteem, if you're thinking unhappy thoughts, you need to start changing your thoughts. And even if you need to write it down and bring it with you and read it over and over again throughout the day, because we learn through repetition. I had a dear old friend who used to say, repetition makes for emphasis. And that is so, so very true. And that is one of the only ways to reach into the subconscious, where the architecture of our behavior actually lies.
Yeah.
So we need to train ourselves. We need to retrain ourselves. We need to entrain ourselves.
Well, when we see our friends, doctor, in this state, and we say, I've got to help you, and you go out of your way to try to help them, and the word is rehearsal in the brain, which is repetition, learning, but they call it rehearsal when you're talking about the brain. An idea is rehearse. You talk about it. You talk about subtopics of it. But suppose these people just still don't grasp it. What do we do with them? I mean, some of these people we love, and they're stuck in this rut. I mean, what can we do?
I understand. And for functioning, it's called visual motor rehearsal, and that was developed for the space program originally. We found that when you visualize actions, say it be your sport or your profession, whether you're actually doing the motion or simply visualizing it, we find that the same muscles fire in the same order and in the same strength as they do when you're actually doing it, one way or another. Whether you're doing it or visualizing it, it doesn't really matter. So this teaches you that the rehearsal, as you mentioned, the repetition is going to eventually change your habits. How do you change bad habits? Well, you replace them with good habits. This is not always as easily done as it is said. However, with your support for your friends and edifying them, building them up, telling them how much faith and confidence you have in them, that will catalyze the whole process and help them tremendously to reach those goals.
So it's just like any other addiction. You need a real good support group that when they see you going off kilter, they grab you and pull you back.
Yes, in a manner of speaking, absolutely.
Cool. Always a pleasure, doctor, to see you.
Well, listen, it's a great pleasure being on your show, Andy. I really do appreciate it. And do I have another minute or two?
Sure, go ahead.
Well, I just wanted to mention that there are many different ways to end up with low self-esteem. And it can come from outside influences. In fact, there's a couple of terrific books on it, and one of them is called Labels That Stick. And as Valerie mentioned, much of this does begin in your early childhood. And even though our personality is basically formed and shaped within the first few years of life, I'd like to ask you if you know at about what age our personality is fully developed, fully matured. Do you know?
Probably 10 or 12 years old.
Actually, the research shows that your personality is fully matured at around age 50.
Wow,
Isn't
really?
that fascinating?
I thought it was
we may
4
have
years.
a lot more leeway. We may have a lot more leeway than we think. So don't give up hope, no matter where you're at, and raise that self-esteem, because we all have tremendous potential. We don't all have the same potential. We all have different gifts and talents and abilities to share. So we need to, search our souls, search ourselves, and find what we can best contribute to the world. Now, there are many ways. Can you catch low self-esteem? Well, that sounds kind of funny, I know, but in a manner of speaking, you can. By hanging out with the wrong people who have low self-esteem themselves and don't speak up to you, they speak down to you. So we need to really be careful about guilt by association. I like to try to associate with people who are, at least in my opinion, smarter, more experienced, more dynamic than myself, because they'll bring me up. That's why I like to spend some time with my dear friend Valerie and others that you may or may not know. So there are many things that we can do. Once again, always the solution is more important than the problem. So let's talk about some solutions to low self-esteem. Well, I already went over a few of them. Try to hang around with people that will bring you up, that will inspire you, and many different things can also be done as far as exercise is a wonderful thing, because low energy and diminished blood flow, especially to the brain, and I love the fact that you always mention the brain, can result in low self-esteem and depression. Okay, low self-esteem and depression are very closely tied together. So we need to make sure our energy levels are up. We need to eat properly. We need to get exercise. We need to get enough sleep and relaxation. And there are many other things we can do as well. The IMRS, the Intelligent Magnetic Resonance Stimulation Therapy that I spoke of, also sometimes known as the Miracle Mat, but originally developed also in the NASA program for space travel, or through the space travel program. But that and things like acupuncture, herbs, proper diet, exercise, massage therapy, and all of these things are part of what I and my team do in our healing centers. And I have two that I'm at. One is in Jupiter, and that's the town, not the planet.
Okay.
And the other one is in Fort Lauderdale, Lauderdale by the Sea. So if you would like more information on how to access these remedies for not just low self-esteem, but many health problems as well, call the number 561-755-7068. That's 755-7068. And Valerie will hook you up directly with me and my team. So I just want to say once again that it is a great pleasure to be here on your show, help bring some hopefully helpful information to your viewers, and seeing you is always a delight. So have a wonderful evening, and I look forward to seeing you again, if not sooner, maybe for some pizza.
That's right.
No later.
Okay, Doctor. Thank you so much, and you have a good holiday.
A great pleasure, Andy. You as well. Good night.
Thank you. Well, that almost sums up our show for tonight. We've got maybe 6 minutes left, and of course I want to thank my guests this evening. Val and Dr. Howard, always great, and the good doctor there has got many things that he touched on about low self-esteem and depression going hand in hand, and they do. And those things badly affect our lives. Now, in order to do the exercise, in order to get out, like our friend Victoria said, you gotta make time for that. And in order to make time for that, it means you have to work less hours and get things done. And so I really have to touch upon that in the future. So once again, I want to thank Victoria Hagendorf, publisher of Lifestyles of Broward and Palm Beach magazine, for being on the show. Remember, she can be reached at 954-771-4407 or the cell phone 754-246-7774. Or you can email her at Vicky H, and that's VICKYH at bellsouth.net. For me, I want to talk to you once again about chronic stress. This chronic stress, I'm not kidding with you, takes 6 to 10 years off your life. So if we're not talking about a 180-degree turn here, okay? You're going to do these things in steps. And once you do a step, give us a call back in and say, hey, I accomplished this. I stopped doing this. I gained some time doing this. And I gained time for myself and my family by doing this. A big thing to do, and please do it. I hop on this all the time because everybody knows about it. It's in Forbes magazine. It's in the New York Times. Emails eat up your time at work. It takes you away from your work. So go into your email box. Anything that's old that you haven't answered, let's say in a week, delete it. Get rid of it. If you leave it there, you're going to look at it and say, oh, geez, I got to get to that. No, delete it. Get rid of it. Do it like my friend Mr. Suarez at IBM did. Get rid of it. Get rid of it. If it's important, it'll come back to you. I'm trying to give you examples and some steps that you can take. And don't be afraid to take them. Please, don't be afraid to take them to get your life back instead of working for the company. It's what I always say to you. When you're working all those crazy hours and you're putting time in and your immune system is breaking down and you're getting wicked colds like you never had before, they don't want to go away. That's because of chronic stress. You've had your flu shots. Why do you think you're getting sick? So my question to you, to remember this all the time, is that when you're stressed out, think to yourself, is my supervisor going to come to my funeral? And I think we all know the answer to that. So don't die for the company, please. That's not what it's there for. You're there to live a life that's good for you. Use the company to pay your bills and to have a good time with your family. Okay? So until the next time, you take good care of yourself. Good night.
Thanks for watching. If you would like more information on what you just heard today, or you would like to obtain your own copy of The Unfinished Workweek, go to theunfinishedworkweek.com. That's www.theunfinishedworkweek.com. This program was brought to you by the Internet Broadcasting Organization, setting the standard for new media broadcasting.